There's a certain kind of loneliness that doesn't happen when you're alone. It happens when you're sitting beside someone who cares about you and still feeling emotionally untouched, like something inside you never fully arrives, like part of you is always observing the moment instead of living inside it. Most people never talk about that feeling honestly. They simplify it. They call some people too picky, too guarded, too independent, too complicated, as if difficulty finding love is always the result of impossible standards or emotional immaturity. But for many people, it's something quieter than that. A pattern, an adaptation. And that's why true love can feel so strangely elusive. Not because people don't want connection, but because the human nervous system is constantly trying to balance two needs that often conflict with each other: the need for closeness and the need for emotional safety. A lot of psychology research points toward this idea. The brain doesn't experience love as purely romantic. It experiences it as vulnerability, exposure, uncertainty, which means every close relationship quietly activates old emotional memory systems, especially the ones formed early in life. Not always through dramatic trauma, sometimes through inconsistency, unpredictable affection, emotional distance, feeling deeply understood one moment, invisible the next. Over time, the nervous system learns something important from those experiences. Connection can feel comforting, but also unsafe. And once the brain associates intimacy with instability, love stops feeling simple. People may still crave closeness intensely, while simultaneously pulling away from it, without fully understanding why. That contradiction confuses a lot of people, especially because outwardly, they may seem calm, independent, or emotionally self-aware. But internally, their brain is constantly scanning for signs of disappointment, abandonment, rejection, or loss of self. Not consciously, automatically, like a survival reflex. And this isn't better or worse than any other way of relating to people. Some people naturally move toward connection quickly, others move carefully. Neither is more evolved, neither is more correct. Human attachment is shaped by experience, temperament, environment, and emotional history. Different nervous systems learn different definitions of safety. What makes this even more complicated is that people who long for deep love are often the same people who fear what deep love requires. Because real intimacy eventually asks someone to be fully seen. Not idealized, not partially understood. Fully seen. And for someone whose emotional world developed around self-protection, that can feel terrifying, even when they genuinely want it. So the search for true love becomes more than a search for the right person. It becomes a search for emotional conditions, where the body finally stops preparing for loss. That's why some people spend years wondering why connection feels so close, yet never fully reachable. Not because they're broken, not because they're incapable of love, but because their mind learned long ago that staying emotionally alert felt safer than surrendering completely. And once you understand that, certain parts of your past start making a little more sense. The relationships, the hesitation, the distance that appears even in moments of closeness. There's usually more underneath it than people realize.